Oh boy, this is possibly the funniest news I've seen today. FBI executes search warrant at Trump's Mar-a-Lago in document investigation. Let me remind you all, by the way, I am a true, genuine Florida man. I come from Florida. I have seen Mar-a-Lago in person many times driving down the road in that area of Florida. It is, I mean, not a bad looking place, but I mean, it's just a shining beacon of, wealthy opulence. It's just sort of a real. When you drive around the area that Mar-a-Lago is in, you can also drive like literally 10 minutes south to like literal neighborhoods where the average family income is probably 10K. And what always stood out to me, even when I wasn't very like woke, so to say, was the very, very broad comparison, or not comparison, the very stark comparison, between one neighborhood and fucking Mar-a-Lago. Now, of course, I never knew that Mar-a-Lago belonged to Trump or that he had any part to do with it, or frankly, really who Trump was beyond, basic pop culture icon stuff prior to 2016 the election and all that. But, I think it's a pretty good visual representation of some pretty big problems with, like, American wealth. Regardless, though, who really matters, what really matters when it comes to Mar-a-Lago is who owns it. Donald Trump. Our boy in orange, who I actually got a really good sound clip of a few days ago where he says, we do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling. It's actually really, really funny. Just the audio clip alone, no context. I kind of want to make that my new Dono alert sound. I think it'd be really funny. My nose is itching an offending amount, very offensive. The FBI executed a search warrant on Monday at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort in Palm Beach, Florida, as part of an investigation into the handling of presidential documents, including classified documents that may have been brought to Florida. 3 people familiar with the situation say. Trump confirmed that FBI agents were at Mar-a-Lago and said they broke into my safe. Whew. They broke in. My beautiful. Wait, hold on. I have to read it. I have to read it in his voice. They even broke into my safe. My beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents, he said in a statement Monday evening. The former president was not in Florida at the time that the search warrant was executed. The search began early Monday morning, and law enforcement personnel appeared to be focused on the area of the club where Trump's offices and personal headquarters are, according to a person familiar with the matter. The Justice Department declined to comment to CNN, as did the White House. A White House official said it was not notified about the search. CNN has reached out to the FBI for comment. The Justice Department has 2 known investigations connected to the former president. One on the effort to overturn the 2020 presidential election, and January 6, 2021. January 6, 2021. And the other involving the handling of classified documents. The National Archives, charged with collecting and sorting presidential material, has previously said at least 15 boxes of White House records were recovered from Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, including some that were that were classified. In April and May, aides to Trump at Mar-a-Lago were interviewed by the FBI as part of the probe into handling a presidential record. According to a source familiar with the matter. The story is breaking and will be updated. Oh boy, oh boy. Now, to be clear, the fact that they have executed a search warrant in Mar-a-Lago, does this not mean that they had some strong cause to do so? Like, strong evidence that they would actually find incriminating material on Trump's property? Because raiding Trump's personal residence, I mean, didn't that happen to Rudy Giuliani? How'd that turn out for him? Did he actually end up getting, like, in any trouble for that? Anything ever come up from that? Or was it just a bad look for him and everyone moved on? Let's check. To face Georgia grand jury. Georgia DA rejects Giuliani effort to postpone August 9th grand jury appearance. Giuliani seeks to delay his testimony in Georgia 2020 election probe. Wait. Medical procedure prevents travel to testify in Georgia. Oh shit. Wait. Wait, this is such Wait, this is how why isn't anybody covering this? This is so good to include in this segment. Look at this. This is perfect, chat. Literally 6 hours ago, Georgia DA rejects Giuliani's effort to postpone August 9th grand jury appearance. 8 hours ago, medical procedure prevents travel to Giuliani to travel to Georgia. He tried to fake a fucking medical issue to get out of testifying. Oh my god. He literally pulled the I'm really sick, I can't come to school today, teacher. And the teacher's like, bruh, I know Elden Ring came out today. Get your ass to school. He literally did that. How many teachers do you think called their students out on that? Like, I know Elden Ring came out today. You're coming to school. You're not sick. We are receiving some images from the search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida. Armed Secret Service agents were seen standing outside an entrance to the former president's home late Monday. Police have also been seen directing traffic outside one entrance to the estate. We can go ahead and check these out. So these are images of the Secret Service and the police outside. And I presume it's the FBI inside the building. When was this updated? 9 minutes ago. That's from 9 minutes ago. Jesus. Classified material found in 15 boxes. This was updated 16 minutes ago. The search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home appears to have been related to an investigation into the former president's unlawful taking White House classified documents with him to his residence after his presidency. I genuinely feel like Donald Trump would, like, what documents would Donald Trump hang on? I guess there'd be stuff that he'd want to hang on to, theoretically. I was about to say, this feels like that one NBA player who went to went like out of the country and went to a country where I forget where it was like Russia or something, went to a country where they criminalize having drugs, and they had like one weed pod on them, like one cart, just like they literally had one cart like what I have now. And I think that, yeah, it was Russia, and now they're in a fucking Russian gulag or something. And I believe Biden's trying to I think Biden's trying to trade like a wanted arms dealer or something for that American citizen that got taken. Yeah, we traded a war criminal. Yeah, like some arms dealer war criminal type, yeah. All right, last I heard, Biden was trying to trade like some arms dealer war criminal. I don't know if the prisoner trade went through, did it? Good trade. Possibly one of the best trade deals in the history of trade deals. Actually, well, I mean, yeah. Fuck. I mean, we gave Russia... Wait, hold on. Were we extraditing a criminal that someone they consider a criminal to them? Or were we giving them one of their guys who's a war criminal who's going to go back and be, greeted as a hero? Because it matters. It does. But I was about to say, imagine if it was like that, where he just kind of forgot some documents in his suitcase, rode like his helicopter back to Florida, realized that they were still there when he got back to Mar-a-Lago, and was like, I don't feel like flying all the way back up to Virginia, or up to DC. I'll just leave this in my desk. Who cares? Federal law bars removal of classified documents to unauthorized locations, though it is possible that Donald Trump could try to argue that, as president, he was the ultimate declassification authority. Oh my god, what if he actually tries to do that? What if he says, I declassified these documents the instant I left the White House? Mr. President, these documents confirm the existence of aliens. Are you sure that you really meant to declassify these? Yes. Imagine, though. Listen, you know that America has no idea if aliens, like, if aliens are real, America has no idea. Trump would have let it split. Trump would have let it slip. Trump would have, at the very least, during his, like, run, he would have been like, if you vote for me and I win, I get a second term, I will tell you whether or not aliens are real, and I will tell you I will declassify all the documents. If he actually had anything to provide, he would have done that. He would have stooped that low as to, like, dangle the possibility of aliens to the American people. He would have done that shit if he even had anywhere close to enough of anything to bluff with on that. That's what makes me confident America does not have a fucking hint about aliens. At least if they do, then it's not on the president's level, because Trump would not keep that to himself. Aliens are real, they just ain't coming this way. I'm personally of the belief the universe is probably just so massive that there is some kind of alien life out there that is, come about, whether it be intelligent or somewhere between us and amoeba. It's up in the air, but I don't think they've come here or anywhere nearby, and certainly I don't think they've attained a level of technology that allows them to see or visit us. No stun locking, though. U.S. officials surprised by search reports. The news that the FBI executed a search on Trump's home has come as a surprise to many U.S. officials. Many of Trump's advisors have said they are unclear exactly why the search warrant was issued, according to the New York Times. President Biden's top aides found out about the search from reports on Twitter and had no advance notice. A Democratic source familiar with the matter told the newspaper. Senior White House officials said they only saw the news via former President Trump's statement. So you guys have to remember, the way that our government functions is there's always a worry when you build a government, right? That if you allow power to be consolidated too strongly in one place, then you can't have a system of checks and balances. No one checks one guy and that guy gets checked by someone else and that guy's getting checked by the other guy. You don't really get a sort of like forced system of integrity, at least some level of integrity, if all the power is consolidated in a government, right? So we've got three branches of our government, and obviously the FBI is controlled as its own sector, separate from, say, the White House, which is obviously separate from the FBI, which is why many of these White House officials had no idea that the FBI was about to raid Mar-a-Lago, the home of the former president, because the FBI has been doing their own process, their own investigation, their own whole thing, and that's behind closed doors. They decide to make that public when they do. There's no, like, requirement for the FBI to, like, as far as I know, no requirement for the FBI to let the whole White House know that they're about to investigate a public official. If there was, then you'd think you'd be seeing a lot more about it right now, wouldn't you? Trump's statement in full. Oh, good. Love to see this. These are dark times for our nation, as my beautiful home, Mar-a-Lago, in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided, and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. Nothing like this has ever happened to a president of the United States before. After working and cooperating with the relevant governmental agencies, this unannounced raid on my home was not necessary or appropriate. It is prosecutorial misconduct, the weaponization of the justice system, and an attack by the radical left Democrats who desperately don't want me to run for president in 2024, especially based on recent polls, and who will likewise do anything to stop Republicans and conservatives in the upcoming midterm elections. Such an assault could only take place in broken third world countries. Sadly, America has now become one of those countries, corrupt at a level not seen before. They even broke into my safe. This is the difference between this
What is the difference between this and Watergate, where operatives broke into the Democrat National Committee? Here, in reverse, Democrats broke into the home of the 45th President of the United States. The political persecution of President Donald J. Trump has been going on for years. With the now fully debunked Russia scam, impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, and so much more. It just never ends. It is political targeting at the highest level. Hillary Clinton was allowed to delete and acid wash 33,000 emails after they were subpoenaed by Congress. Absolutely nothing has happened to hold her accountable. She even took antique furniture and other items from the White House. I stood up to America's bureaucratic corruption. I restored power to the people and truly delivered for our country like we have never, ever seen before. The establishment hated it. Now, as they watch my endorsed candidates win big victories and see my dominance in all polls, they are trying to stop me. And the Republican Party once more. The lawlessness, the political persecution, and the witch hunt must be exposed and stopped. I will continue to fight for the great American people.
Jesus Christ. My man went full, like, what was it? Revenge of the Sith. Like, Emperor speech there. Okay, so, for one, the comparison to Watergate is just hysterical. Absolutely fucking hysterical. Holy fucking shit. Because, let's be real, Donald Trump's actions, this is the most comparable scandal, well, Donald Trump's behavior have led the most comparable scandals to Watergate we've seen in a very long time. That's generally, like, the go-to, like, Democrat comparison, like, Donald Trump and his scandals are the next Watergate, right? And yet Donald Trump is now trying to claim that his persecution is on par with Watergate? The fuck? Not only that, but we get the classic emails. Hillary Clinton's acid washed all of those emails. This is political persecution against me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is true. Zan's hands are too big to be Trump. Listen, we'll work on it, okay? You gotta have big hands for fingering pussy well. Anyway, with that said, he also goes on to talk about how he is being prosecuted. I like this segment here. Let me reread this in a very good, you guys claim to be very good Trump impression, because I want to particularly hammer home this point. I stood up to America's bureaucratic corruption. I restored power to the people and truly delivered for our country like we've never seen before. The establishment hated it. So let's break this down really quick. So first, I stood up to America's bureaucratic corruption. This is basically trying to appeal to a lot of different types of American political people, right? Because this can appeal to your average, like, conservative who's, like, tired of the Democratic establishment, but it can also kind of appeal to your average Nazi who's tired of the fucking Jews controlling the establishment. But it can also speak to, ironically enough, some lefties who are tired of the establishment, period. Like, just period. The whole system of controlled opposition and constantly just, money in politics and nothing really typically working out in a very democratic way when it is meant to or claims to be meant to, right? That kind of messaging, the really, like, establishment messaging has such broad appeal, and what's scary about it is that a lot of people that get appealed to by that kind of messaging, I've found, they're just not very good at figuring out whether or not the person who is spouting that type of messaging is actually like based or cringe, because there's a very fine line when it comes to people that talk this way between based and cringe. And not a lot of people are very good at telling who's crossing the line between based and cringe there. So you have to be very, very careful. A lot of people genuinely believed, I'm not kidding, by the way, there were tons of people back in 2016, and even after Trump got elected, even after Trump initially banned trans people from the military, one of his first, like, anti, like, civil rights things that he did in office, even after that, there were people who genuinely argued Trump was more left-wing than Hillary Clinton. Sure about that? Or do you think a whole bunch of people maybe got fooled by his anti-establishment messaging, and when they heard him lambasting the Democrats, they assumed he was lambasting them for not going hard enough against the Republicans, not going hard enough against corporate interest and so on and so forth. That appealed to them. But then you realize Donald Trump's a lying businessman, and he knows exactly how to make people like what he says. Say what you want. As poor of a speaker as you might think Donald Trump is, there's a reason why hordes of people come out to hear him speak. He is a good public speaker. He is. He just is. That is good public speaking. If you can get a crowd of people to scream your name and cheer like that, you're a good public speaker. It's just the type of people that he appeals to are, well, they just have a different set of priorities than the average viewer of mine, I guess. I want to continue on, though.
Now, as they watch my endorsed candidates win big victories and see my dominance in all polls, they're trying to stop me and the Republican Party once more.
This is clearly indicating Donald Trump plans to run in 2024. Obviously, I think we all kind of felt and kind of knew he was going to run in 2024. This is him basically setting up what I think is going to be his strategy for his run in 2024. He is going to be the persecuted martyr who fixed the economy and made everything great, but then got attacked and ruined by the left and is now coming back from the ashes. That is going to be the way the right tries to portray Trump. That's going to be the way he's going to try to market himself when he runs. After leaving the White House, Donald Trump moved into his Mar-a-Lago estate in the exclusive Florida enclave of Palm Beach. During his presidency, Mar-a-Lago is known as Trump's Winter White House. Trump and his wife Melania returned to the Florida resort after leaving Washington, and since then, the president made it the center of his political dealings. The FBI reportedly executed a search warrant at the residence around 6 p.m. Eastern Time, which appears to have been related to an investigation into Trump unlawfully taking White House documents with him to the property after his presidency, according to the source familiar with the matter. Good God. What could he have possibly taken? I'm really curious to find out. Because if he does actually try to save himself by, like, declassifying those documents retroactively, if that's even possible, then we're going to find out, because it'll be declassified. And there's a website you can go to see all of the government's declassified documents. You guys know that, right? Like, we'll find out what it is that he had if he does try to save himself by declassifying those documents in some loophole retroactive way to save himself from charges. Absolutely. I'm pretty sure they'll just end up becoming public. Ayo, the cat is licking itself. What a good baby. Oh, you can't see her. Oh, you're being robbed. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. She knows how to lick. Zan, we have a mirror? Well, I can't see how big my screen is on your screen. My camera is literally just like this big on my screen, so I really can't see much of the detail on my camera. So I can't see like how much of Luna you guys can actually see, but there she is. She uses her little hands. She likes to use her little hands while she cleans herself. It's really cute. She looks at herself in the mirror while she bathes. That's where she does her makeup every morning. She's a very pretty baby. Luna is so cute. Why? She's just very good baby. She's just very, very good. She's very clean. Happy International Cat Day. Is it really International Cat Day? I didn't know that. That the cat was cleaned 5 minutes ago. Now she's on vacation. Oh yeah, she's just clean. Cats just like to get bored and clean themselves. It's funny. Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment, please consider leaving a like. It helps the channel out a lot, whether you're watching live or you're watching after the fact. And of course, if you want to see more from me here on YouTube, then you can subscribe, ring the bell icon, or even turn on notifications so YouTube does actually tell you when I go live or upload a new video. You can also follow all of my social media to see all of my other crazy shit that I do on the internet. Link down in the description down below. There's my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, and even my fan Discord. I highly recommend that you join those. They're pretty cool, especially my Twitter. My Twitter's pretty awesome. And besides that, you can also come to my website, xanderhall.com/live, which is where the chat that you see on screen right there is, the real chat, where the real fans are. And you can also come here and support me financially if you wish. You can gift a sub, donate, or even subscribe for yourself. Hell, you can even support me for totally free over on YouTube or financially as well through, the join button to become a channel member, or you can just super chat or super sticker. You can also support me through through Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, and Patreon. Links, of course, are all in the description, and every single one of you who supports me, regardless of how that may be, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.